deer hunting has turned into a year-round type deal. And my wife sometimes is like, why do you spend so much time up there?
He's a big, low, mature deer, and we just could not get things to come together. We had a little ducking going on this morning. This deer ducked my arrow pretty bad. Is this why we come to Kansas?
Yes, sir.
This will be an experience that me and you will never forget.
I remember sitting in my daddy's stand, my camo on and my gun in hand, praying the Lord would send something our way. And as we sat, I learned a thing or two about God's creation and my dad's values, lessons that shaped the man I am today. Oh, and when I think on all the memories of hunting, faith, and family, I just stop and thank the Lord for the way it was, the way it was, before all the distractions, when we would sit and imagine the way it was, the way it was. I thank God every day, the way it was.
You know, this deer hunting has turned into a year-round type deal. And my wife sometimes is like, why do you spend so much time up there? And I always tell her, I'm like, the way I look at it is our name may be on the title of this land, but we're really caretakers of this land while we're here. And we try to make it a better piece of ground than when we got it. And of course that benefits all forms of wildlife. And so we're up there in the spring putting in summer food plots and supplemental feeding and putting out mineral blocks, and then back again in August doing the same thing, trying to improve this property and improve our chances of growing big, healthy deer, turkeys, and all the other wildlife that's involved.
That's putting out 10 to 13 pounds per acre.
We're getting ready to put out a spring mix of a plot 1 seed called Double Down. And it's a mix of clover and chicory. And we've got a little plot out here broken up. That's about 1.5 acres, maybe 2 acres. And we got our drill set right. We planted it last year. We got in a little late with it. Our fault. Old Mama Nature didn't really cooperate with the rain, but we still got good germination. We just had the deer just ate it up. So we're gonna try to get it in a little ahead of time this year. All right, what Len's doing, he's on his tractor with his no-till drill, and he's planting a spring mix from Plot 1 Seed Company. It's clover and chicory. And rather than break this up or spray it, this is just an early wild wheat and cheat cover that you get here in Kansas. And that sun in about a month is gonna burn this back. And it'll give us a little cover for this new seed we're putting in the ground. And he's using a no-till, so you don't have to prepare your soil. And it's hard to see these little old seeds, but they're in there.
They are.
And it should be, there's a little ribbon right over there.
That's
it's
right.
doing good. Mother Nature cooperate with a little water, and these critters will jump on this stuff.
They'll be eating it down.
Mm-hmm. We go up in August. My wife's birthday is on August the 16th. And I usually leave on the 17th to go up and get things ready. But it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's not work. There's a difference in work and that kind of work.
I disagree with you.
It is a lot of work.
It is.
You're working for more people than I'm working for, though. Your family is expanding rapidly and friends as well. So yeah, you've got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
All right, we just got here at one of Mr. Bates' place he calls a spaceship because of the old stand that was here. And I'm going to put this covert wireless camera so it can send us pictures. We ain't got to be coming down here disturbing these deer. Meanwhile, Mr. Beatty is going to finish bracing up this new stand that we hung just a couple of days ago. It's the 2nd day of September. It's only 2 weeks till the season open. We need to get all this finished and get out of here and let the big bucks know. It's all part of preparation.
Yeah, there
Right.
you
Do it the easy way. I don't know easy.
This segment was brought to you by Monster Meal. Attract, nourish, enjoy.
We're up there working and planting our plot one seeds and getting the cameras out and we like to know what's out there. We like to know what's going to be on our hit list, you know, what's old enough and what's going to suit this particular person and what's going to suit us and so forth. And Lynn's got a lot harder job than I do because he's having to take kids out all the way up to our older kids, you know, but it's
They'll
fun.
wear you out.
They'll wear you out. They'll wear you out.
And that's what's fun too. Them text messages, they start coming in early or late summer, early fall, and you start seeing really what's showing up. So.
Alright, we're back here in the car hole. Ain't no deer back here. We just came out here to see the sunrise this morning. But there's a deer around here called bullwinkle. He's over 20 inches wide. And our cameraman, Bobo, kind of took a liking to him. So we back here, and if bullwinkle shows up, Bobo is gonna grab his bow. I'm gonna grab the camera, and we're gonna try to make a reverse video this morning. But then again, we got an opportunity to make a double this morning. So y'all hang in there. It's just now getting light, and bullwinkle ought to be in here pretty shortly. Well, we just stuck one and reviewed the footage. I hit him high, but we looked at it and he ducked about that far. After the shot, we could tell he ducked my arrow pretty bad. It was a 20-yard shot and he went down on me. So I don't know whether we're gonna find him or not. That's kind of high up there in that no man's land, so we'll give him a little while and then we'll go look and see. Well, me and Goat done started hunting with these long bows, and it kind of shortens up your distance a little bit, but that's kind of what it's for. I mean, we got the challenge. We've done shot everything with them other bows.
Yep.
You know, so.
Any deer with a long bow or a traditional good deer.
Is a trophy. That's
But
right.
we miss a lot.
Oh yeah.
I want to make that clear. We miss a lot. We had a little ducking going on this morning. This deer ducked my arrow pretty bad. and I hit him in that no man's land, and we found what I was expecting to find out here is nothing, because he's hit high and the hair will probably break off, come out. He'll heal up. It's not a vital shot by no means, and we have dug broadheads out of deer plenty of times, and I really feel like this one will be around for somebody to shoot later on this year probably. So we might make a recovery, but it might be a month from now somebody else shoots him too. So that's what you get into when you're bow hunting. Every shot's not a perfect shot, but when they duck, there's no way to allow for it. And if you allow and shoot low, you shoot low if he doesn't duck. But if he ducks, you're in there right. So it's just part of bow hunting. So let's keep on bow hunting.
This segment was brought to you by Covert Cameras. Keep it covert.
Carry it in. We got a little situation back here. These deer are coming too close to us on the blind, and so me and Goat's been talking, and we done come up with a plan. He had a good idea. I got a big brush pile right here, so me and John are gonna go over there and we're gonna get some of them logs, and we're gonna lay them logs out here, and we're gonna move these deer over or further away from us and make them come where we want them to. Instead of coming 5 yards from us, we're going to move them over and make them come a little bit further over to this side. We had a really good deer come in last night. His name is the Rev Jr. He's a big old deer. He ain't got but about 8 points or so, but he's a big old mature deer. And we just could not get things to come together. He was in range and the shot just didn't feel right, and I wouldn't take it on this deer. He's big enough to, you want to do everything you can right before you pull the trigger, so it just didn't feel right. I was waiting for him to settle down. He never really settled down, so if he comes in tonight, maybe we'll take a different approach to him. But he's a pretty nice deer. when you shoot with these longbows, there is a different setup that you have to use. Like if you're in a double bull blind, we're long, we hit the top a lot, and then when you're in ground blinds, as you will notice, you can hit one of them too. Cause, swing and a miss, just because when you hit it, you're probably gonna miss him. So
Been there and done that.
we know how to do that too.
This segment was brought to you by WTL Ministries, reaching outdoorsmen with the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Every year at Thanksgiving, things really get chaotic around my place. It's 14 of us there with the family, plus cameramen. Things get chaos. So my little grandson Gus, he'd already tagged out. So he had an opportunity to hunt with me instead of me hunting with him, and it turned out pretty good.
I think I see horns.
I got everything except all of the shot. I got part of it. You can see the arrow, but I didn't get the impact. I didn't get the shot. Well, I don't know what happened. I probably didn't get it on video when this deer came in. I had my bow drawn, I couldn't get the camera to move over. It's a nice tune. I shot this deer the other day.
Yes, sir.
This is the second time I've shot that deer. And when he gave me that quartering shot, I had to take it. Now this is a great experience. I got my grandson. He's the doe man. He's already killed him a good chance of luck this year with the his season. And I've got a grandson that witnessed me pulling the trigger. Now, that's all I'm going to say right now, I'm not pulling the trigger. Was it exciting, Gus?
Yes, sir. That was a big buck. I was shaking.
You was shaking.
I was shaking.
Well, you didn't have to shake because you wasn't shooting, man.
I was still. It was.
Hey, is this why we come to Kansas?
Yes, sir.
This will be an experience that me and you will never forget. This was a really neat hunt to be able to hunt with my little grandson. In this particular deal, I have all my kids, and Gus got more excited than I did. But, you know, years and years from now, Gus will still remember this hunt because he got to see Paul shoot a deer with his longbow, and he'll remember this. And what are we hunting for if we're not making memories?
That's right. You know, in life, we've always heard to be successful, you got to work hard. In fact, we say things like no pain, no gain. That working hard brings success. In fact, it does, even in deer hunting. Season prep and getting things ready, it has to happen. You sweat and you work hard so that when the fall comes, you're going to be able to be successful. You know, in almost every area of life, that motto is so true. To have success, you have to work hard. But there's one area of life that's just not true, and it's the area of our spiritual life. In fact, the Bible, so one of my favorite verses in Colossians says that all of the sin that we had, the record of sin to our account, Jesus wiped it away by nailing it to the cross. Now, what does that say? It says this: Jesus did all the work. Now, you and I don't have to work for our salvation. Jesus did all the work for us. We just have to acknowledge that, receive Him, and trust Him as our Savior. If you've never done that before, we want to help you make that decision in surrendering your life to Jesus Christ. In fact, you can go to a website. It's right here on the bottom of the screen. It's www.endthehunt.com. whitetail.org. You can get on your phone and talk to somebody about surrendering your life to Jesus Christ. Hey, thank you for watching The Way It Was.
This show is brought to you by Scent Crusher, Three Rivers Archery, Monster Meal Deer Attractant, Covert Scouting Cameras, Montana Decoy, Striker Concepts, Plot One Seed, WTL Ministries.